Hi, I'm Liz and I work for UNICEF UK, which is one of the members of the Children's Coaching Collaborative.
Hi, I'm Ben. I work for BOING. We're also one of the members of the Children's Coaching Collaborative.
And we're here today to look at coaching from another member of the Children's Coaching Collaborative and to have a look at how the children engaged in the session and how the coaches supported voice, choice and journey. Right, let's take a look.
Good afternoon, everybody. Are we all okay? Yes. Fantastic. So today in our cricket session, we are going to be looking at call capture. Okay. So our life skills, we are looking at resilience. What does resilience mean?
It means working hard.
Yeah. Yeah. What else does resilient mean? So working hard. What else though? What else does it mean? Joanna?
Not giving up.
Yeah, fantastic. Not giving up. Okay. And we're also looking at creativity, so looking at different ways of how we can do that activity. Our keys to success are hands in our catching position, okay, and moving our feet to make sure we're in that balanced position and we're ready. So we're going to look at different activities today to make sure that we get those skills and keys to success.
So one of the things I really like about the way that Beth introduces the session is she's giving all of the children information. We talk a lot about voice, but part of children using their voice is really knowing what they're talking about and providing them with that information right from the start. So I really like the way she's framed, what are the key skills? What are we going to be looking at today? What are the sport skills that we're going to be focusing on? So then the children really know what the session is all about. And when they do speak up, they're going to be really informed.
It just acts as a really nice scaffold to kind of just guide their reflections. She still kind of gives those moments for them to present their ideas, but there's still some kind of a path has almost been set a little bit.
Yeah, it's like a framework for the session, isn't it? Yeah.
So, can you all show me how you think we should be catching the ball? How should we be catching? Okay, good. So, making sure we've got those big hands. So, can everyone make a bowl shape with their hands? Well done. Okay, so next thing we need to look at is having our balanced position. So, do we have our feet together? Do we have our feet one in front of the other? Or do we have them side by side, wider? Yeah, so see if we can get that shoulder width apart with our feet, so we're a little bit more balanced. Okay, knees slightly bent, so we're ready to move in any direction if we need to. Yeah? So everyone show me that ready position to catch. Fantastic, well done. So get them hands in that bowl. Yeah, together, well done. So we are going to be looking at the first activity, and it is going to be around the Milky Way. So what I would like to do quickly is, can you get into a pair? So someone that you're going to work with really well.
I just wonder if there's an opportunity there to maybe almost give the children some time to explore that bowl shape and crouch position, let them go and play and experience it, and then bring them back for that guided discussion.
Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion. And I think there's also some really interesting ways of getting children into their pairs, giving them the chance to do that in a more playful way than just opting for the person that they're standing next to.
There we go, fantastic. In your pairs, okay, you have a choice of different balls. So there's smaller balls, so sponge balls, tennis balls, bigger tennis balls, or bean bags, okay? There is a station over there, and there is a station over this side. Between you and your partner.
I like the way there she's giving the children the choice. They're really having the choice about which ball works for them, what's going to work for them at their skill level, on their point in their journey of development. So I think that's a really nice way to do that, having all those options.
And the ability for them to explore their own capabilities and difficulty and start to think about how they can set themselves challenges within the game itself by being deliberate with that kind of ball they choose.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe go with your partner so you could decide together. Okay. Happy with the decisions?
Yes.
Good.
I really like the way that she checks in with all the children after they've made their selections, just make sure everyone's okay, ready to go into the activity. Again, making sure that children feel like comfortable, safe, happy. It's all the fundamentals that you need, really, if you're going to explore things like voice, choice and journey in the session.
Okay, this one. Nice. Next one. New one, yeah? Yes, nice. This one.
Yeah, keep going. Well done.
You can really see how engaged the children are in this activity. They're moving from station to station. Every child is active. No one's kind of stood waiting for their turn to have a go at playing. So I think it's really positive the way that she set it up so that all of the children are active all of the time.
Yeah, just those little bits of chit chat you can hear. It's like just a really nice way of just judging that engagement's really high. There's some nice energy in the session. I know it's really early on and it's building up, but everyone seems and feels really engaged and active in what's going on.
How did we find that? Fun? Easy? Oh, easy. So we're going to make it a little bit harder. So, if you want to. So I'm going to give you the chance to swap the ball, if you want to.
Yeah.
It's great to see the immediate feedback and response. So children have said, actually, we found that quite easy. Straight away, she's like, okay, let's introduce a challenge. Let's see how we can do something that responds to what you've told us about the session. I think it's a really good example of how you can adjust your session as you go to what the children are telling you.
Definitely.
10 seconds, go.
Go and switch it for a bigger ball. How is that going to make it harder? How is that going to make it harder?
I love that kid. He speaks quite a lot with kind of those kind of conversation pieces, but even those others who are just around it, you can see them kind of almost looking and trying to work out how is that going to change the task. So that real individual, unique experience that they're allowed to create through that kind of agency and choice.
Yeah, and they're asking questions.
Yeah.
That's what you want, isn't it? How is that going to work? How is that going to make a difference? Yeah, really good.
Okay. What are some of the things we can try and make sure that we're doing?
Catching it with bent knees and then the catching position.
Yeah, so make sure we're in that capture position. Okay. Making sure those big hands. Yeah? What else?
But not together.
Yeah, keep going, yeah? Last one.
Make sure that your partner's watching.
Yeah, make sure your partner's watching. Okay, make sure they're in that ready position. Big hands. Okay, in that balanced position. Right, can you go and get ready at a goal?
Yeah, it's like really nice moments for their feedback and that involvement. We could almost push that a bit further, and if we want to make sure every child has a voice at sometimes, we could use some peer-to-peer reflection and give them all a bit of an opportunity to give their voice. And as the coach there, Beth could move around the groups and just try to get a bit more of a capture for everyone, rather than kind of more familiar voices that are more happy to speak up.
Yeah, and you can tell that those that did speak up, clearly she's created an environment where feedback is encouraged, and lots of children did feedback, but it's not every child's cup of tea, is it, to put the hand up and speak up in a big group? So creating those alternative opportunities is a really good suggestion.
So you're going to work in this area, choose where you want to work, and you can choose the distance you work at. Just make sure that it is a sensible choice, okay, the distance you're throwing at. So I don't want to see one of you this end and one of you that end trying to throw it over the top, okay? So just make sure that you're at a sensible distance, okay?
I think this is a really good example of the coach setting the framework and making sure things are safe. You know, sometimes people think if you let children make all the decisions, then it will just be wild and dangerous, but you can see she's set the parameters, she's made sure it's safe, and then the children can make their choices within those parameters.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, did we beat our scores?
Yes.
Everyone beat their scores?
Yes.
Were you close?
Yes.
That was my fault.
81, and
So,
last time we got 85.
so if I hadn't have spoke to you, you would have got there.
It's fine.
But you would have got there if I hadn't have stopped you. So, well done. Okay.
I like that she's checking in with the children, but it feels a little bit focused on how many catches did you make?
Yeah, it's quite heavily focused on the outcome rather than necessarily their process and their experience of getting there. So whilst I like the fact it's not geared towards competition between others, and it's maybe more internalised and it's around your own objectives, I think if we really want to create that kind of truly playful environment, can we shine that light on how we've gone around achieving those things and the process of our play, rather than necessarily the outcome of achieving that.
If you want to challenge yourselves, you don't have to if you don't want to, is we're going to try and capture with one hand. Okay? So, we're not going to count the scores, but I just want to see if you want to maybe challenge yourselves and go with one hand. Maybe start off with your right hand if you're stronger with your right hand, and then maybe go, I'm going to have a go with my left hand. And so you can go with two hands, you can go with one hand, it is your choice. Okay.
I really like the way here, again, the choice is going back to the children. They can go at their own pace. If they're ready to try it with one hand, they can try it with one hand, but it doesn't feel like there's any pressure coming from Beth to move at her pace. It's all about them moving at their own pace.
And the opportunity to explore their journey, like they can, just test themselves and kind of take the additional risk and the stress of it. Or so it's a nice way of kind of capturing that, like, it's more holistic focus of you can have those opportunities to try and push yourself and to grow, or if you still need that kind of support, then that's fine.
Yeah.
That's better. It's okay.
We got 100 of the one-handed ones.
Well done. Well done. See if you can try and... Oh, great catch.
I like that bit where they're kind of celebrating their own successes, and they've really immersed themselves in the experience of the session, and it's just a perfect example of like ownership, right? Is they can see the progress they're making, they want to celebrate that achievement.
Definitely. And I like the high fives as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots of different ways that you can celebrate success, and that's just a really nice one to see.
So, next game.
Yeah.
We are going to play. Not yet. Not yet. Because what's our skill?
Because we're trying to learn how to catch and stuff.
So catching. So our main skill is catching. Yeah? Well done. What you said?
Bowling.
Not bowling today. Not bowling today. Okay. Just doing catching.
It's a really interesting dilemma for Beth, isn't it? It sounds like one child in particular wants to play a game, but there were quite a lot of groans when she said we weren't going to go straight into a game. When you're embedding this new way of doing things, you're giving children that opportunity to make a choice. But how do you work through your session, meet your session objectives, make sure that every child is engaged and having those opportunities, but also give genuine choice about what happens and allow the children the space to focus on the thing that they enjoy doing the most?
This is the tricky part of being a practitioner, and it requires that, I think, longer term shift of how young people see sport and physical activity, not just as playing the game, the sport, but also all these playful experiences around it which transcend the sport itself, and it's a much greater array of skills that they can develop. But it is that really tricky piece when someone says, I just want to play a game.
Yeah, because that will be something that children say all the time, because children really enjoy playing the game. So I suppose part of it is what she's doing. It's making the practice element as fun and interactive as possible, so that it mirrors the game, it mirrors some of the core skills that they develop in the game, so that that part is playful as well as playing the game itself.
We just kind of gamify some of those moments a bit more to try and sell the narrative of, well, this is still cricket, but it looks a little bit different.
Absolutely.
So, well done everybody. We worked really hard with that. So remember, our skill was call capture. Okay, so we're looking at our life skill. So resilience. Do you think we were all resilient throughout that session?
Yes.
Well, definitely. Okay, especially when we were doing that catching at the start. Okay, we were just getting into it. We were helping each other, encouraging each other. Yeah. So well done.
Yep.
Were we all creative?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how were we creative throughout the session? Yeah.
So like, you know the normal catches, me and Hayden decided, because since it was easy, right? We decided to like test our reflexes by throwing it in different directions to see if we catch it or not.
Yeah, well done. So we were looking at throwing in a different direction.
It's a really nice like moment of the ownership of the game, and they're taking it upon themselves to then start changing it in their own ways, and kind of that game now has so much meaning to them as individuals, and it's that meaning that's going to foster that relationship and that love of physical activity and of movement, etc.
And I really liked the way Beth asked a follow-up question. So she said, were we resilient? Everyone put their hand up and said yes. But when she asked about creativity, she was like, well, how were we creative? And it creates that extra level of engagement with the activity. You could see then there was more of a buzz. It wasn't just everyone saying yes in response to a question from the coach. It was actually, okay, what was it that we did? And that reflection, which will really help them on their journeys. When you hand over that opportunity to children to take the lead, they will have the answers for themselves because they know what they're doing.
Yeah, you only need to just step back and just watch children be children.
Yeah.
And those things will happen naturally. It's just part of almost like young people's creative outlet. It's how they exist and view the world. It doesn't always need us to impose that. I think Beth has done a really nice job over the course of the session of trying to facilitate that and still be there as a scaffold, as a guide, placing some structure or that framework on the session. But ultimately, there's still lots of agency that the children have within the experience.
We have finished our session. Okay. Can you give me some of the things that you enjoyed or something that we can do next time? Yeah?
Bowling. The next time.
So you want to do something new skill? Yeah, look at bowling.
Like the way we use teamwork.
Yes, you enjoyed working with different people.
The really nice difference from the start to the end is now how many hands are up.
Yeah.
Every person wants to contribute to that conversation. I guess the difficulty now is then to make sure that we do give every child that opportunity for that voice, and we could end up being there all day. So I guess it's just that opportunity for other mechanisms of feedback and of those discussions.
Definitely, and I think it's really interesting. They're talking about what they want to do next. And I think there was a bit of an opportunity there for Beth to say, that's great, I've heard that.
Yeah.
And make sure that that's coming up soon, because obviously it's an area that you're interested in. So I think she did that internally, but if she'd verbalised it, it would have been an even stronger moment, I think, in the feedback. I think Beth has done a really good job of thinking through how, within the structure of developing these skills, can children go at their own pace, can practice in the way that they want to, and can make choices throughout.
Yeah, like moments of genuine meaning in that listening and like responding properly based on that kid's wants, desires, needs, that really reflect that ability to give them meaning in the environment and to give them purpose and intention.
Yeah. One of the focuses of the session was on resilience, wasn't it? And resilience comes from being challenged, but also succeeding when in moments of challenge. And I think she managed that dynamic really nicely in the session.
Yeah. This is one session taken in isolation, and it's probably more a big piece in a series of planned sessions over the course of a curriculum. So they've started that journey, and their journey is only ever going to kind of continue to grow as they kind of work more with Beth, the coach. They work more with each other. They're, I guess, invited to engage in things more playfully, and they're invited to have more of an opinion and express their voice, have more choice, and kind of that broader, holistic set of skills they develop within those practices and with those interactions with the coach.
Yeah.
It's a microphone, so we're going to huge microphone.